Hi, my name's Kev and I'm from Rhythm Room Music School based in Milton Keynes. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up the Alesis Turbo Mesh Kit. As always, the only thing that you're going to need is a butter knife just to get the boxes open so we can start getting things together. Right, let's crack on. The first box that you're going to want to get out is the one that says drum stand written on it. The first things you want out of the drum stand box are the main supporting poles that are going to make up our drum frame. This is how you want the frame poles to be laid out in front of you. So we've got the base of the electric kit down here, we've got two supporting poles there, and then we've got the main frame bar there which will hold the drums on top of. Next you want to open the accessories box because in there will be a drum key which will allow us to assemble the frame. This is what the drum key looks like, and we're going to be using it to turn this around, and we do that by loosening the lugs that are here, and we're going to be making sure that the feet are pointing downwards and that this part of the connector part of the pole is facing upwards on both sides of the kit. I forgot to mention that you also want to have the connecting part of the pole right up against one of the feet because that is going to be sitting at the back end of the kit. Next, I'm going to be loosening these lugs here and sliding the supporting poles on both sides into the connectors on the feet. Next, I'm going to be connecting the last bit of the frame on the top two connectors here, also making sure that they're at the same height on both supporting poles. You're going to want to unscrew these connectors and bring them towards the middle of the pole. Now we're going to go back into the stands box and we're going to get out of that the two shorter poles. You want the pole with the three connectors on it on the left hand side of the kit as you're facing the frame. So we've got the longest part of the base facing you, and it's going to be going there, and the pole with the two connectors on it are going to go on the right hand side of the kit as you're looking at it. It's also worth paying attention to as well the end of the pole that has the black cut off here is going to be facing towards you, so if the pole is hollow, that's the bit that's going in. If you can't see through it, that's the bit that's pointing at you. Easy. Next, we want to get the three cymbal poles out of the drum stand box. Okay, so you should have three cymbal stands in front of you now. The two shorter ones, so the first one's going to go up here on this connector that's closest to the stand on the left hand side, and we're also going to put another one here on this connector that's closest to the stand on the left hand side. We're also going to move that along to give a little bit more space for the drums, which are going to go on these two connectors. They should be the same distances from each other on the pole, but I'll show you once that's done. And then the long cymbal stand pole, which is this guy here, is going to go this connector closest to the stand on the right hand side of the kit. Right, I'm going to do that now. Now you should have something that looks a little bit like this. So going from the left here, you'll see that I've got each of the cymbal stands on the outside of the frame and about this sort of distance. I probably will play with the distance a little bit when all of the pads go on. But next we want to be getting the boxes that say drum pads out, because now it is time to put the drums on. Each of these mesh pads are completely identical, so it doesn't matter which one you put on where. What we're going to need to get out next are the supports and the little stands that go onto each of the connection points here that the drums will sit on. These can be found in the accessories box. This is what they're going to look like, and we're going to be putting one into every connection point apart from the one very closest to you on the left hand side. That's for the drum module, the drum kit, the electric drum kit brain. So this is approximately where you want the pads to be. The general rule of thumb is you want things to be fairly flat, not very flat, and not definitely not facing all the way towards you. Sort of a nice happy medium, so that when you're striking the pads, your sticks aren't hitting the edges, the rims of the drums. I also like to have the drums quite close together. It just makes it easier to get around the kit. Next, we're going to be getting out the cymbal pads, and so you want to grab the box that says cymbal pad. All of these pads are completely identical, so it doesn't matter which one you put on which stand. I'm just going to start from the left hand side here. So what you want to do is you want to take these two parts off, including the felt, which is this guy here. So we're then going to be putting the pad on it like that with the felt on top of it, and then we're going to tighten this part up. You don't want to over tighten this part. It's got to be fairly firm, but you don't want to overdo it. Don't over tighten it, don't leave it too loose either. You want a little bit of movement in there, but it's still going to be fairly firm. I'm going to do the same with the next two stands now. Okay, so this is what we're looking at now. We want to make sure that we've got the soft part of each cymbal facing towards you. I like to keep things, again, fairly low, fairly close together. That might be overhanging ever so slightly, but generally this is the kind of look that you're after. Okay, next we're going to be getting up the drum brain, the electric drum kit brain. So you want the box that says module written on it. Okay, so here's the module. We're going to be putting it into this first connector here on the left hand side. Now we're going back into the accessories box and we're grabbing all of the wires and connection cables. So here's our cable loom. Now it might look a bit daunting to begin with, but everything is labelled. So this is for the hi-hat control, so HH control, and there's also another cable here which has kick written on it. They're for the two pedals. We don't have to worry about them yet. We're just going to be putting things on the kit. So let me just take you through the names of everything so you know where to plug everything in. This is the snare. This is the snare drum. This is tom 1, tom 2, tom 3, and then this is the hi-hat. This is the crash, and this is the ride. All of those should be written on your cables, so I'm just going to plug them in now. But before I do that, going back into the accessories box, in the same place that I found the drum key, I've got two screws here, and this is what I'm going to be able to use to plug in the cable loom into the drum module. I like to remove the drum module so that I can gain easy access to plug the cables into. Okay, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to plug all of the various drums and cymbals in. Okay, so that's everything plugged in. Now it's worth mentioning that in the accessories box there are cable ties so that you can tidy this up. I've only done this very quickly just as an example today. So you use those cable ties and get it looking a bit better than what I have here today. But next I'm going to be getting out the box that has pedal ×2 written on it. This last bit is very simple because there are just two pedals here, so you want to grab the cable that says hi-hat control, HH control, and we're going to be plugging it in to the side of this pedal here, and then the connection that says kick, there he is going to go on the right hand side of this pedal here. So it doesn't matter which order you put these guys round, it'll still do the same job. It all depends on which cable is plugged into which pedal. So lastly, in the accessories box is the power supply, which is here. On the European versions of these kits, it comes with a UK plug adapter and a Euro plug adapter. So you're going to need to slide it in and set it up like I have here. And then when we plug this power in, it gets plugged in here on the back, on the right hand side of the brain. Let's see if I can do that now with one hand. Yep, lovely. And then when it gets time to go, there's the power button there, and we are now set up and ready to play. The kit comes with a pair of drumsticks, so the only extra thing that you need to provide is a drum stool. But once you've got all of those things in place, get it plugged in, enjoy and happy drumming. I'll see you next time.